All right, got some progress here. I don't know how well this is going to show up on the camera, but I've got my switch panel here fully wired. These bottom switches are not yet actually connected to anything. The wiring is run down through the wall, but isn't hooked up yet. But I have 4 switches here for lighting. These first 2 operate indirect ceiling lights here on the living room area. So plenty of light, not obtrusive in your eyes. I am going to put an entryway light kind of tucked up under that window in the front. That'll be another option if we want a point source of light. Then I've got a switch next to those that lights up this whole counter area with LED strips. And down on the floor, the switch works to light up the toe kick. That's kind of bright, but it's cool. Those are all standard, same temperature, bright white LEDs. And these 4 switches in the middle start front to back. So these are the living room, these are the kitchen. I do have one of these switches actually wired. I forgot about that. I have wired in the shower lights, which reflect off the ceiling. They're a little warmer, and I kind of wish I had gone with the bright white. I may do some changes to those to make them extra bright or add some other form of lighting, though it's not bad. It's just a little bit of a cave, but it is a shower. I am going to have 2 other light sources in this area. Up here there will be one bright white light, and I do have a functional light in the bathroom that puts off a fair bit of light. It reflects all off of the copper in here. Everything's a mess because I'm in the middle of projects. So I've been over here today for I don't know, 7 or 8 hours running the air conditioner, and the battery is only down to about 74%, I believe, which is pretty cool. Of course, I did have some solar, though it's raining now. Let's see, 73.8%, or 457 amp hours remaining. I have 620 amp hours at 24 volts. So current voltage 26.5. We're charging the batteries even in the rain because I've cut the air off for videoing. So 6 amps coming in from the solar at 6.8 amps at 26 volts. The solar arrays actually put out 50 or 54 volts, and the MPPT drops that and boosts the ampage. I have also wired in all of the cabinet lights. I've got to tidy up the wiring in wire loom and tuck it all in and such. But all of the kitchen cabinets have lights that kick on automatically. The one over the refrigerator does. I have lots of wire cleanup to do, as you can see. All of these cabinets in the kitchen have automatic lights that pop up and turn on. There's also a light here, which will be for the dinette, which I've wired today. You can turn on just one or both sides, so the dinette will sit right here where all of this wall material that I took down to fix and reinstall is piled. I also set up the wiring for the refrigerator. It's a 3-way, 12 volt, 120, and propane. It's currently running on propane, but the circuit board needs 12 volts all the time. So I wired in a switch so that I can kill power to it, so that when I have parked it to store, it's not trying to cool on 12 volts, because it will suck a ton of juice, and I don't want to cool it all the time. There is a switch on here, but I just figured if there's any parasitic draw through the control board, that being able to directly kill power, this switch operates a 30 amp relay, which is in the compartment behind the fridge. This one next to it operates a 30 amp relay that runs the water pump, which is off because there's no water in the tank at the moment. So these bottom switches that aren't used besides the shower one are going to go for a bedroom light here. So a light in the very back in the bedroom will be triggered by that. And then one of them will be for the entryway light, probably this far left one, because I'm trying to go kind of front to back. And then I will have a few extras for things I may add in down the line. I built this little bump out of some Brazilian koa and some 1/4 inch ply to house all of these switches and my battery meter, because this wall isn't thick enough for these Contura style switches. But I wanted these because they have a removable faceplate, and there's a company that custom laser etches them. So they'll have an icon where the blue square is, and where they're always lit will be the name of what it is that it's controlling. So you won't have to remember or have a sticker. It'll be laser etched into the covers. And there's a little tool to pop those off and install the new covers, but I haven't ordered all that yet, though I will. And then up here, this set of switch, or this little switch and light, which isn't powered at the moment but is fully wired, is for the hot water heater, and it was already installed. There's a brand new Atwood propane hot water heater. So I've gotten all of that wiring done. I have lots more to do, though the 12 volt, just a few more lights and lots of tidying, but I want to run some extra outlets with 120. And I do need to run a little bit of 12 volt all the way up here. I'm going to have the security system, which I use as driving cameras, is hiding down behind this seat. And it is actually a 48 volt system, strangely. So I have this buck step-up converter, and I'm going to power it off the solar and battery bank so that the cameras and the recorder is always running. And then the monitor I use to see all 4 screens at once while driving, so I can see 360 around the bus. I will leave powered by the bus system, the start battery system, so that I can push the button and turn it on when the bus is on, or it will kick on automatically when the bus is on, as it does now. But I need to wire in a little 12 volt panel up here for house power, and a couple of outlets for 120. There's going to be one by the driver back here, and then I'm actually going to put one in this, hiding behind my ladder, in this front compartment, because I think I'm going to put a resistive heater for the defroster. The fans are there and work wonderfully, but there's no heater core, and the lines aren't complete all the way to the back. So I want to get 12 volts into here as well as 120. There are some switches here, one of which is a footwell light and one of which isn't hooked to anything. I'm probably going to replace those with those Contura style switches, and one of them will run the footwell light and one of them will run a light that is going to live somewhere up here eventually. It's actually going to be copper and 12 volt LED bulb, like my ones in the bathroom. There's going to be a handrail, which is made out of 1-inch copper pipe, and a little bar rail next to the driver's seat, and then up near the ceiling there'll be a piece that comes out and has 1 or 2 bulbs. I have built a test single bulb one, which I may use in the bedroom, out of copper piping, and just parts from Home Depot or Lowe's rather, and then a 12 volt filament style bulb. And this puts out a lot of light. It's quite cheap to build, and it fits our copper theme. So I'm going to build something similar to this for that entryway up front, but with 2 bulbs, I believe. So I believe that's all the progress for today. I'm really quite pleased with how it's coming along, and got a lot done today, even though it was slow going for a while. but I'm whittling away one step at a time. So.